Several years ago, there was this movie called Sleepless in Seattle. And when it comes to romantic comedies, it's got to be one of my favorite. It's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And the plot of this movie is that he is this widower with his 6 or 7-year-old son who lives in a houseboat in Seattle. And Meg Ryan is this young woman who lives in Baltimore who should have the perfect life. She's engaged to be married to Mr. Wonderful. But the truth is that she is absolutely bored out of her mind with this guy. And it's a time when they still use telephones, if you can imagine that. And people listen to the radio. And there is this nighttime radio show program. And the little boy out in Seattle listens to it. And it's this lady who plays songs and gives advice on love and all this kind of stuff. And he facilitates a relationship with somebody on who can hear him online. And of course, Meg Ryan hears this, and it's called Sleepless in Seattle because he listens to it when he can't sleep. But the story goes, and it's about their process of finally meeting each other on the top of the Empire State Building and falling in love. And there is great suspense, and there's great hope. There's moments of disappointment, and all of these kind of things that are involved in relationships and meeting. But of course, in the end, it's a story that you just love. You fall in love with, and you become one of those characters. And it's just my favorite movie as far as romantic comedy goes. This last week, I was at my sailboat, which is kept in southern Maryland. And I had been there about 3 days. I'd been there by myself, working on it, getting it ready. And the day came when I was leaving. It was early in the morning. I turn out of the marina onto Lookout Point Road, and I start towards the Potomac Bridge, which is about 30 miles away. When all of a sudden, on the right of way, on the road, I see this sign, and it says, "I love you." And it's a corrugated sign. It's handwritten. I thought, well, that's strange. I go on up about, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 yards, and there's another sign, same kind of sign, except on this one it says, "I'm sorry." And I'm really intrigued now. I drive about another 200 yards, and there's another sign, and written by hand, it says, "Forgive me, let's try again." Now I'm really intrigued. And I go another, I don't know, 200 or 300 yards, and there is another sign. It says, "We can make it." Now, there's been 4 signs within a half a mile here, and I'm thinking, how many more signs can there be? But there are no more signs. It's those 4 signs. But the rest of the trip, I mean, like the next 4 hours, I imagine in my mind who these people are. I think that it's probably some guy that's done something wrong, and she's broken off the relationship, or some young girl who has done something that upset him, and he broke off the relationship. And this is an attempt to get their attention, each other's attention, in some big way. But I just loved all of this. I mean, it just pulled me into these people's lives that I've never known, that I never met, probably never will, and I won't even know how this ends. And so I was just so fascinated by it. But when you think about relationships and what makes some relationships work and some relationships not work, the ability to acknowledge that you've done wrong and then to ask for forgiveness is an essential part of sustaining or making a relationship work. I'm human, so I will do things that hurt, that injure my wife. She does things, says things that hurt and injure me. And every so often, we have to say to each other, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?" One of the things that I also say is, if you cannot remember the last time you apologize or ask somebody to forgive you, you're probably behind, because it's something that we need to do often, being able to identify things and then apologize for things. In Jesus' prayer to the disciples, it was so important that he made it a part of that prayer, "Forgive me, Father, and forgive other people for what they have done to me as well." In order to maintain a relationship for any length of time, you have to have the ability to identify something that is injurious, or when you're confronted with it, to be able to say, I'm sorry. To say, I'm sorry, it's an essential part of our relationship to people. Most of all, it's an essential part of our relationship to God. I just thought about all of that as I thought about whomever put those signs up alongside the road. And yes, I'm still thinking about whoever they happen to be. I'm not sleepless in Seattle, but I just thought it was interesting.